Vegas and this year, too. It didn't start off so hot. Steve Budin here, our financial analyst, to talk to us about basically 2016 as we approach 2017. Now, last year this time, we were going, it's not a great start, but things have looked up.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's amazing what goes on in 1 year.
I know.
I was going back and looking at the different statistics and performances, and it seems like a lifetime ago that we were talking in January that it was one of the worst Januaries on record in the stock market. And I think for the most part, the markets were on holding pattern the whole year with the election, and the craziness of this election is unprecedented. And then really in the last 2 months is really where you got a lion's share of your gains. So a couple of lessons is, just because the year starts off bad doesn't mean that it's going to end that way. And you need to hang in, and stay disciplined and not panic.
Right. Well, and what about let's talk the election. We can talk Donald Trump in a minute, but just the election as a whole. I mean, did that make boost the economy? Did it make money in certain places? And then I know a lot of companies and stuff are suffering now that the election's over.
Right. For 10 months, you had really nobody knew what was going on, right? And we talked about this in so many segments that the markets hate uncertainty. And this is the first election in generations where nobody really was sure what was going to happen. So the market just stayed on the sideline waiting for the results. And then once the results came, I think more than anything, the certainty of the victory is what sent the markets higher. And then Trump's policies of making tax law changes and regulatory reform, we'll see if that happens in 2017. But as of now, the market really is giving him a lot of slack.
Right, and he actually, Donald Trump tweeted, the president-elect, he always likes to send out those tweets, that the year has ended, in a positive territory, and, obviously giving himself a little pat on the shoulder there. I mean, he have a lot to do with it, I mean, in the end?
My take on that is whether it's a Democrat or Republican, the president doesn't have as much influence on the economy as they like to think.
Sure.
I like to think of it as a baseball manager. The manager always takes the blame, always takes the credit for the performance of the team, but usually it's the team that does the playing. But at the end of the day, you fire the manager when the team doesn't do well, so we'll see what Trump does in the next couple of years. But for him to take the credit, that's a little much.
Right. Well, we'll take it ending,
better to be higher than lower.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's talk gift returns. Obviously, Christmas over the weekend, the holidays going on, and a lot of people get things maybe they don't want. They want to change the size, and things have changed a little bit when it comes to that window of time that you can actually return something, right?
Yeah, it shocked me over the weekend doing some research where 10 to 15% of the gifts are returned. So it's a pretty large volume. But what I've seen is a lot of the stores are shortening their return times. So you may have had 30 days before, and it's store specific, so make sure you check with the store. But some of them are down to as little as 10 days. So if you get a gift, you're not happy with it, make sure you go to the store quickly, because the return policies really are shortening.
And I noticed, too, you really need that paper receipt still, which I'm surprised, because we're so high-tech now.
I know.
Yesterday, I didn't have a paper receipt. My mom had sent me something through the mail, and I'm like, I only have the tags around it. Can't you track it? No, we can't. I had to call her, get her number, the whole nine. And I'm like, really? Yeah,
because the refund theft is so high, and the fraud is so high. I went into a local store, and they asked me for my ID when I was making a return, because I didn't have a receipt. And I didn't know this, but they'll add you to the database, and they'll say to me, you only have 3 returns without a receipt in a particular calendar year. So I didn't know that was going to happen until it happened to me. Another thing, too, is the returns are totally voluntary by the store. So just because they say they'll accept returns doesn't mean they have to. So if you're in that long return line, don't be a jerk about it, because ultimately it's the store that has the discretion to give you the refund or the return or store credit.
Right. Flash those pearly whites. All right. Thanks, Steve. Stay with us. We're back after this.